Okay, Rabotai, welcome to our Monday night shiur. Let's get into it. We're going to start again from chapter 2 to the beginning, but we're going to go fast. You were not here last week, right? Okay, perfect. Wednesday, yeah. We're going to go fast until where we're up to. We just finished that. We just went through all the different levels of sins. There's mitzvat aseh, mitzvat lo taseh, kritut, and arba mitot beitin. And what did we say? That fasting is not part of the tshuva process, but what is it part of? The kapara process. There's a big difference between tshuva and kapara. Tshuva means doing repentance, and kapara is not getting forgiven. Don't get it wrong. Kapara means taking away the blemish that you did.
What's tshuva?
1 second. Tshuva means you're forgiven. Kapara means now you're fixing what you broke. It's two different things. When you say sorry, doesn't mean necessarily that the item now gets fixed. The item is still broken. The person forgave you. It's okay. Kapara means now you're taking the broken item and you're fixing it. You're putting it back together. That's kapara. One of the processes of kapara is pain. Isurim. One of the types of Yisurim is ta'anit, fasting.
Is that what people mean when they say like kapara, like I lost something?
Yes, correct. That's where the concept of saying always kapara, like, oh my God, like I lost something or I couldn't find something, let it be a kapara, right? Why? That should take out that void. They should fill in that void. Because any pain is considered a kapara. So one of the things you can do is you can also, unfortunately, but fortunately, you can inflict pain upon yourself. It's not something we suggest in any way, shape, or form, but it's something that we do. It's something that we do, right? And what's one of the ways we do it without harming our body? Is by fasting. When someone fasts, automatically what happens? He's allowing that his body, himself, should have a sense of kapara. We understand? That has to be clear. These are fundamental rules and facts. If you don't have these things set, you're going to get confused your whole life between tshuva and kapara. And we don't want that. We want you to be able to have the proper hanhaga, the proper way of how to get things done. כל זה לעניין כפרה ומחילה העוון שנמשל לא לגמרי מה שעבר על מצוות המלך כשעשה תשובה שלמה. Right? When someone already does tshuva shlema, what is he what should be the pain really that you went and you were over al dvar melech, you went against the king's word, right? You do something improper in your family. Your parents really don't care. What do they care about? The fact that you went against them. It's the feeling of you went against me, of rebelling, more than the actual thing. That's just what it is.
Betrayal.
That's why if someone does a mistake, but he asks his parents' permission beforehand, how is the punishment? Much less. Let's say someone's driving, and his parents let him take the car, and someone hit him. He's not in fault in any way. His parents get upset? A little, but not the same as if he would have stole the car, went on the highway, booked it on 80 and 100, and then get into a total loss. And then his parents saying, yo, you see what happens when you don't listen? Right? The scenario is totally different. So where is the real pain in tshuva really got to linger from? From the point in your neshama that says, how can I go past Dvar HaMelech? Am I that big of a rebellion that I have to go surpass the word of God? This is the key of how a person starts to elevate himself from one level to a next level. He stops taking it. He stops thinking that he's hurting others and himself, and he's having in mind that I'm going against the will of God. Automatically, your whole life and whole structure and your whole brain is what? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're walking, you're sleeping, you're talking, you're moving, you're doing business. Everything is what in your brain? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, the creator of the world, the creator of the universe. And automatically then everything starts to make more sense.
Not everybody thinks like that.
Congratulations, that's why we're here today. We're here to infuse that ideology. But that doesn't mean now you have to be. That doesn't mean now you have to be live in a box. And this is the story of Hanukkah, right? We just finished. What did they think? What did the Greeks think? That it's either you're a spiritual person or you're a physical person. You can't be both. And the Torah is the exact opposite. You're both. And if you're not both, you're not a complete human being. You have to be both. You have to be both physical and both spiritual. By keeping Torah mitzvot, living with God 24/7, but at the same time also working, having a family, helping people, going out of your way to do good things. That's called being physical. ואין מזכירין לו דבר וחצי דבר ביום הדין לעונשו על זה חס ושלום בעולם הבא. ונפטר לגמרי מן הדין בעולם הבא. If someone does tshuva properly and he does repentance, in the next world, they don't even mention the sin that you did. They don't even mention it. Nothing.
If you did both.
If you did tshuva.
Isn't it turn to mitzvah?
You're going into a certain midrash and he'll touch on it. He'll touch on it towards the end. What does that actually mean? That it becomes into sichuyot.
Well, to mitzvah.
So let's just say
Not a mitzvah. A deen becomes into a zechut. Can never be a mitzvah.
How do you do that?
There's madrigot. First do this, and then when you master this, then over that it will be much easier. I'm not telling you this to make you go away. Just always a Kadosh Baruch Hu in your head. What's your question, Rabbi Eliyahu? No?
I heard that a person has a movie of his life whenever he goes up to Shemayim.
Correct.
Is that a true thing?
That is a true thing.
So let's just say
Those things will be
cancelled out.
Correct.
Exactly.
אמנם שיהיה רצון לפני השם ומרוצה וחביב לפניו יתברך כקודם החטא להיות נחת רוח לקונו מעבודתו. But in order for the sin, right, for the sinner to do the proper tshuva, what's one of the steps? Not just, I heard the glory of God, but I want to go back to the chavivut, to the closeness that I'm supposed to have with my Creator, like before I did the sin. It's like a person missing tefillin for the first time, right? How does he feel? Depressed. How did I miss it? What's going on? The second time? Whatever. The third time, he doesn't even remember that he put it on. He didn't put it on. The fourth time, forget about it. But that first time was what? It was like sticking a knife in his heart. How did I forget? When you do tshuva, one of the tshuvas have to be that feeling at all times.
It's fake.
No, I'm not saying to act it out. I'm saying to actually feel it.
How do you feel that distance?
So when you meditate, that even if you do it every day, but God forbid, if you missed it, you should never miss it. It should hurt you so much that you missed it. That's what I'm talking about. Not when you put it on. When you put it on, that's a different avodah. That's something totally different.
So you're saying there's a mitzvah of putting on and there's a mitzvah of something else?
No. We're talking about when a person, chas v'shalom, doesn't put it on, that negative feeling that he feels, he has to take that negative feeling and use it at all times for every sin. Even if he missed tefillin 1,000 times in his lifetime, he shouldn't say, forget about him, already he's going to Gehinom, or does it make a difference? He has to still feel that pain like he missed it for the first time.
So when you try and say when we do tshuva, we have to regret the fact that we did a sin, and not only that, the fact that we got used to that sin.
No, we're not regretting that we did the avera, because no one cares that they did the avera. You know what people care about?
Punishment.
The punishment. Don't lie. Who are you lying to? Or I really feel bad that I made. No, you don't. Because if you would really feel bad, you would not do it in the first place. That's the correct answer. So what feeling are you supposed to really get? How can I betray my Lord? How can I betray God? I was thinking of myself before I was thinking of Him. That's one level. The second level is you have to get to a feeling of such a regret and a remorse and a pain of I want to have that feeling of like the first time. That first time I've ever missed, that's my feeling I'm supposed to get at that moment. That's how you know the tshuva is becoming proper. Because
How does someone ever feel that way? That's like saying.
Can I tell you how?
manipulate the
Can I tell you how? Can I tell you how? Rahmana litzlan. I'm just gonna give an example, right? Reuven marries Dina. Dina cheats on Reuven. Reuven forgives Dina. Dina cheats again. Is the pain still there? Is the pain of the second time like the first time?
No, it's worse.
You think it's less of a pain?
I think it's more.
How? It shouldn't be.
Because it's
One second.
so hard
One
for
second.
us to
No,
forgive.
no, 1 second. It shouldn't be. According to your taina, which is what? How am I gonna have that same feeling like the first time? It doesn't make sense. And over here, you're saying it's gonna be even worse than the first time. How does that make sense? Can I tell you how? Can I tell you how?
Your argument makes no sense.
I'm gonna explain to you how it does.
You're talking about logic versus emotion. These are two different things.
No,
This,
they're both emotion.
The example with Reuben and Dina is emotion. This first one is logic.
No.
It's like, I made a mistake.
It's not logic. It's also emotion. Just you allow that the emotion for the mitzvah of tefillin should be what? Less affecting to you because you really don't care about it. But elamai by Reuven and Dina, it's something that you actually care for, and that's why you're making a big deal about it. The question is, how come certain things you actually care for and certain things you don't care for? That's the real question.
Because one of them is someone betrayed you, and one of them is you betrayed someone.
Someone betrayed you, and the other one is that you betrayed someone. True. I'll give that one to you.
Different.
Okay, I understand that.
It's easier to betray someone than be betrayed.
Correct, but that same feeling needs to be there. That's how you know you're going on the right path.
But why does it connect to what you were saying before?
Well, because in order to do tshuva, you can't say, okay, I did the Yisroom, I did the fasting, I did the whole thing, I did the tikkun, I did the whole thing, but whatever. If I'll do it again, I'll do the tikkun again. That's a chisaron.
And you get forgiven for that?
That doesn't work. Wait, what's the concern? The fact
The
that
chisaron is that you think that it's so easy and it's so light to fix it, because you're forgetting the main ingredient. You're forgetting the soul in the tshuva. What's the soul? The actual regret feeling of how can I depart. That's why doing these tikkunim are good, but it really, really, really works when a person is mentally in the state of mind of what? I can't believe I did it.
So it's saying
That's why they don't suggest people that are young to do it.
But it's a lot to ask for a man to sit down and dwell about something he did. Men don't dwell, women dwell. Men are not emotional, women are emotional. So for a man to sit down and say, oh my God, like that's a very Ashkenazi mindset.
It's not Ashkenaz. You know what it is? You're desensitized to mitzvot.
No, not me, I'm not talking
I'm not you. I'm talking about a friend. I'm not talking about you. Chas v'shalom, not you. People are desensitized. Since they're desensitized, they don't really care. That's the answer.
Like,
Think about it. I want you to think about it. Because there are certain things that are physical you're not desensitized to, and it would make a big deal for you if you over and over if something bad happens. The question is, we have to ask us, how come I'm desensitized to God? Where did I go wrong? And I'll tell you the answer. But very briefly, the answer.
Physicality of it.
No, you know what it is? We blame the feeling of our connection to God. We look at it in a negative way because the people that represent God have done us wrong. So now everything we associate God with is with those people that did it wrong, because they are the quote unquote the ones that represent God. So it turns off a lot of people. That's the problem. But you as a human being have to have in your mind that even though he represents God and he did something negative, that doesn't mean my relationship with my God is dependent on who? On that person. That's our problem. We make everything dependent on somebody else. And that's why the Balatanya always fight, you have to have a relationship with God yourself.
so why do we have rabbis then?
We have rabbis to guide us. No offense, none taken. Rabbis are here to guide us. They're not here to baby us.
This is a little off topic, but what is your thought on like people who like consider rabbis as like gods?
No, that's kfira. Your rabbi is not your God.
Like basically,
Your rabbi is your messenger to take you from one level to the next level.
And is it disrespectful for a person to disagree with their rabbi on a certain thing?
You can disagree, you just have to represent it. You have to represent it politely. It's not a disagreement, but it's a lack of understanding. The problem is when the rabbi starts to act like a dictator. That's the issue. Keep that in mind. We'll talk about it privately if you want. Let's continue. I know where you're getting with this. Hayat Sarich Lavin. If it was the time of the Beit HaMikdash, she would have to bring a sacrifice. Now, he's going to get... If we're going to have time and we're going to get into why he's bringing the whole sacrifice, you're going to get shocked. What's really this whole thing behind it, bringing a sacrifice? He had to bring a sacrifice for the sins that he did. As the rabbi, as it says in the Torah, right? In the Torah Kohanim, v'nirtzah lo. And he would go to the Kohen, and the Kohen would accept it for him and do the korban for him. And it also says in Per Kama Dezvachim, de'ola mechaper al mitzvot aseh v'hi doron. That what? That if someone, God forbid, let's say, doesn't wear tefillin, or broke Shabbat, in certain aspects, if he would bring a sacrifice of an ola sacrifice means the whole animal gets burnt, it's considered what? A gift to God. 1 second, stop 1 second. If it's part of my repentance, then how come the Gemara says it's considered a gift to God? What kind of gift is that? Imagine someone killing someone and giving his parents, God forbid, the person that passed away, their loved ones, the tool that they used to kill him.
Also, if someone does something wrong.
Can you imagine something like that?
Someone does something wrong, he's saying sorry that he did something wrong, that person's gonna feel a little happy about it. That the person actually sees what he's doing wrong.
I understand what you're saying.
Isn't it like rubbing it in their face? Then?
Correct. So why does the Gemara say it's like giving a gift? How come the process of doing tshuva is you're too human.
God doesn't have any emotions.
You're too human. You're so good. Closure. Let's get into it. He's gonna answer. And after he did the tshuva, he went through the whole process of sacrificing the animal. What happens? The sin is totally out. שסרח במלך ופיסו על ידי פרקליטין ומחה לו, אף על פי כן שולח דורון ומניח לפניו שיתרצה לו לראות פני המלך. Why? Because a person that wants to reconnect with the king after he, God forbid, lost connection, what's the way to connect to a king or to anyone? You give him a gift. It's always like that.
It's korbanos, like gifts.
So what is he saying? He asked first the question, why are you giving a gift? Why is it considered even a gift? The answer is because even though after you sinned, you did the tshuva, your sacrifice is quote unquote a gift. Why? What's the psychology behind it? Because it's like telling klape God, like klape us actually, for us like saying, God, we sinned, not only do we regret it, here's a gift. This is on us.
That's why he gives the extra ola.
This is on us. Right? If you do, God forbid, something wrong to let's say your spouse, you go to the store, you make sure you get her a flower. You go to the store, you make sure you buy her some food that she might like. Why are you doing that? Why? No, you don't regret it, don't lie. You're melding out the situation. You're melding out the situation. You're saying, here, Jonah, I'm here. This is for you. I thought about you all day.
God?
So we're not bribing God.
We're going to proper touch.
Yeah, we're not bribing God. We can't bribe God. But this is.
That's what we're doing.
God doesn't have an
Oh,
emotion.
so
bribe your wife.
You're giving God a gift. God doesn't need your gift.
Okay.
God doesn't have emotion.
1 second.
You're speaking out loud.
Correct. So I'm gonna. He's gonna explain to you why.
Okay, like
He's gonna explain to you why. So now that I got everyone's attention, now we can get into the juice.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead, ask.
If God doesn't have emotions, then how can he see a sin as a sin? Meaning, how can he get upset at you for doing something that you're not supposed to?
Wow.
Because
That's actually a good
also
question.
says Hashem felt betrayed whenever we did the golden calf.
Okay, so you're asking a question that only Kabbalah could answer, and I'm gonna answer you. God is called the Ein Sof. The Ein Sof means the highest of highest, no end. The way infinity. The way God reveals himself in this world is through the light of the Ein Sof in different glasses. give you an example. You ready? If I wear sunglasses outside, is the sun now dark? What am I wearing?
Something blocking.
Exactly. When God revealed himself down to this world, he did something called tzimtzumim. What's a tzimtzum? Constriction. What's constriction? He made a less of a revealment of who he actually is in order to have
There's more than one world.
1 second. 1 second.
You're
1 second.
confusing them,
You're going to confuse everyone right now.
You're at a different level as us.
Since God needed to reveal himself into this world, what did he do? He created different masachim, different, how do you say masach? Masach, no, different shades, different blockages.
We need a car tint. There's different
Correct.
levels.
Correct.
Tints.
So in a couple of the levels of revealment, in order for us to associate with God, right? He instilled in there midot, characteristic traits.
What's an example of a
Not what's an
example of a tzimtzum?
A tzimtzum is considered like a child coming out of his mother's stomach. He needs to go through that pain, that moment of pain, and poof, he's into this world. That's a tzimtzum.
Well, in my life, what's a tzimtzum? What you say?
And every single challenge is considered a tzimtzum until you overcome it. That's why the challenges never change. They only change when you overcome the first one. The next challenge is
greater.
totally different. What does it mean that it's greater? Your kli became bigger.
Your
So
vessel.
the narishkeit that you were fighting until now, you look like the zit kisad. Why? Because you just made yourself bigger. That's a tzimtzum. Okay, so let's go back.
Wow.
So God, what did he do? He created a certain, it's called a partsuf, a certain revealment of a layer. It's called ze'er anpin and nukva. We're not going to get into why, what, maybe one day in the future we'll get into these things. In those levels, he created midot, characteristic, kindness, strength, and all these kind of things.
Why? For what?
For us to be able to relate to
tap
him.
in.
Because if I'm going to tell
Can't get to that, we can't like understand. So we have to. Like,
you can never understand what it means to be unlimited.
in order to be him, we gotta bring him to like.
Not
us
to be him. In
understand
order to attach to him, we need to understand him. We cannot understand unlimitedness. It's impossible. Why?
because we're limited.
Because we're limited. You can never understand something that you're not. Ever.
You've never seen
It's impossible. Impossible.
The best thing we can do is just at least attach.
Correct. So
yourself
what
to
did
that.
God do? He created midot just for who? For us to have a connection to him.
His
It's like-
midot, not our midot.
Correct.
Say v'yavor, well, that's what we're
So
saying.
how does that answer his question though?
So he's getting to it.
That
So
answers
that's feelings of God.
it's not that God has feelings. God created feelings just for that.
Does Hashem need us?
Just
Just
for one of
for
the
us
ways
that
for himself.
hate
Don't ask that question.
Just
Right?
one of his ways for us to understand him, right?
Well, yes,
Just one.
Yes.
That's one of his ways.
correct.
To make us think that he gets upset at us.
No, for us to be able
That
to
thing
understand
is
him.
what.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
that answers your question.
Wait,
Yes.
so how does that get us closer to him?
But does he really get upset though? If
No.
it's
In
just a
reality,
character-
no.
No.
In reality, no.
No.
So then,
But in our
why
terms,
are we doing
So
so?
why do you have to go through all that just to say
Yes,
that?
why did you
Wait, this is messing my
The
head.
light
Tshuva then.
itself, the this, the
I'm
Why
gonna
that.
did
explain to
you-
you. I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna explain to you.
Everything is just like a metaphor for us to understand.
So I'm gonna explain to you.
It's not. I think it's not the fact of doing teshuva to repent. I think it's the fact of doing teshuva of understanding his existence to do that. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
Now I'm gonna make it even deeper, but I hope I don't lose everybody.
and so
You like these topics? Yeah.
It's just like a mind game.
Wait till we go on a hardcore
What's the point of
Kabbalah.
explaining all that? Just say,
One
oh, you
second.
did it for us to understand?
No, because it's not good enough anymore. We live in a generation you need explanation. Don't live in like this thing. That's what God wanted. Why? Okay, we'll tell you why.
What happened never
So emunah bitachon, your emunah bitachon becomes even stronger when you know this.
Okay, but shouldn't you learn that it's not okay to know the answer all the time?
Yeah, no, we don't have the answers to everything, but whatever we do have, why not learn it?
Because isn't ignorance bliss sometimes? Just not knowing.
No, don't be a fool.
Isn't that true of another?
No, that's ignorance. That's not emunah.
Hashem wants to be
One
faithful.
second. 1 second. You can't ask any questions. Understand? You can ask me privately.
If you think that that's ignorance, then I believe that sometimes, if, let's just say a child follows his dad. Doesn't
Correct.
ask him, I don't know why you're doing this, or I don't know why you're doing that, right? Then doesn't that mean he trusts his father.
So then what does the Pirkei Avot say? Lo habaishan lamdan. That a person that's shy will never be a learned person.
Never
Why?
be
Because
alone.
he watches.
You what?
Instead of being a talker, he's a listener.
Yeah, but you can't comprehend God. It's impossible.
So then why do we have Nevi'im or all these things?
Nevi'im, what? You think Nevi'im spoke to the Ein Sof? He didn't speak to the Ein Sof. You're funny.
Moshe did.
No, he didn't speak to the Ein Sof.
Sounds like God has
Sorry.
feelings
He
already.
spoke to him.
Not to the Ein Sof.
Behind the
Who did he speak to?
curtain.
Yeah, he spoke to the revealment of Rachel. That's why he said, I saw the back of God, which was the back of the tefillin. Sorry, Leah, not Rachel, okay? Don't get confused. Don't ask any questions, I told you. You're gonna confuse everybody here.
Saying
I gotta get back into this. Hold your question. So you ready? Let's get into that. Let's get into that topic. Why did I just tell you all this? We're talking about the Ein Sof. Oh, so what? This is all a game? Are we all part of a scheme? It's a Ponzi scheme? What's going on over here? Now here is the beauty of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and this is where everyone fights. Does God need us? Does God not need us? And today I'm going to answer that question for you very, very shortly. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God in Himself, which is the Ein Sof, created a system that is dependent on human beings. Since the system is dependent on human beings, we have to do what's right. Because if we do what's wrong, we're ruining the system. So what are the mitzvot? The mitzvot and averot are revealments of godliness in this world. Both positive and negative. So when we do something wrong, we're not damaging God. In essence, who are we damaging? We're damaging the whole creation.
That's why I said the world's created for me.
Correct.
That's crazy.
So you're that's why it says everyone is connected, because if you sin and you're on the other side of the world, I get hurt from it. Why? Because we're all here playing one big puzzle that God gave us the power to fix. Because if not, you know what happened? We would have no point. And that's why Adam and Rishon ate from the tree of knowledge.
so
I want you to hear this. Adam only ate from the tree of knowledge for one reason.
Did by purpose now?
He realized this world was pointless.
He did by purpose?
Yes.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
He realized this whole world is
he's
pointless.
living to live.
Why? Because I'm doing nothing. There's nothing to accomplish.
Nothing to.
Because everything is already complete. So what am I doing here? So he said, I need to eat. Why? So I should have a reason to exist.
So he broke his part of
But
the
it's
puzzle.
not his.
You're right. It was all God that was all implanted all this. But this was his whole ideology. The Leshem Shlomo Achlama said that Adam Arishon was in Gan Eden for hundreds of years. He didn't do it like overnight. He was there he was God's, do you know what means God's creation? I don't think you even fathom.
He wasn't even born.
You can't even
Created.
fathom what that is.
Okay.
He was God molded him. Do you understand what I'm talking to you about? You're like, I don't know, how far are we from now till creation? Like
6,000 years.
300
generation.
300 generations, let's say. You know what? 300 generations. He's the first generation. The first. How can he sin? No, he said, I have to sin.
Hashem could have put a challenge
Now,
for
what I'm
us.
telling you now is very dangerous.
He could have put a challenge for
But
us.
did he
You're talking again. I told you not to talk.
Did he
Listen,
want?
listen. He's not bitter. He knows too much information. He's going to confuse everybody. Over here. He knows too much information. He's
Yeah,
going to
kids
confuse
have that
everybody.
problem too.
But he's technically messing up Hashem's plan, though.
No, that
Part of God's plan.
No, that was the plan.
So why are we fixing Hashem's plan?
That
when
he
it's supposed
made
to be
We're not
set?
fixing. We're doing.
We're
We
fixing
are.
something He made us do.
No, you're not listening.
Playing part of his game.
We're actually going through the process that he wants us to go through. Why? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because when the redemption is going to happen, you're going to be able to get up and say, I had a part of it.
So he's gonna sit between the kids and the men.
It's, yes, but it's more than that. You're actually going to say, I had a part of it. I was part of the redemption. You're not going to be a bystander.
But the way it's going, the redemption's never gonna happen.
Oh no! Stop!
Hey, guys, continue.
That's an emotion. That's a woman
No,
speaking.
Why can't you be realistic for a second?
So the whole thing of Mashiach coming. Wait,
I happen to agree with you, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
so
I think redemption, we have a long time for it.
so Mashiach.
Even though we wait for it every second. And sorry to break your bubbles, when Mashiach comes, it's just the beginning.
beginning of what?
It's just the beginning. We're going to be in this universe for millions of years.
Wait, but isn't that the beginning or the end of the Galut?
I don't want to scare everyone. We're still in the lowest level. We got to graduate from one level to another. We got to reach Atzilut. You know how many light years we're talking about? Millions, if not billions. But we're going to all be alive to see it. That's the difference.
How does that make sense?
Whatever. When it happens, you'll know.
Even if you're dead.
It's scary, no?
Wait, your
But it's-
soul or you?
Rabbi, I like
Your
this.
body.
Though, Rabbi, can we continue? I like this. Let's continue this.
Wait, let me ask you a question. You said your body, right?
Your body.
You know how our soul was in many different bodies.
Correct.
So
Oh, so you're asking a great question.
Ooh.
Does anyone have a lighter? Matches? Give me the matches over there. Fast.
like
Fast. I want to show you something. You're not gonna understand.
One light goes to thing.
I want you to just open it. You'll see it. You'll see it back.
when that happens, you like Asher.
Well, one
You
second.
know you
One
are
second.
Asher
I'm gonna show
Gadai.
you. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. Give me the matches. I'm only gonna use 2 for the purpose of this. Look at this light carefully. See this light? Did this light change?
No.
Is this light part of this light?
Yes.
But is this light have its own identity?
Yes.
It's fire,
That's Neshamot.
literally.
What?
Is that God? Like
That's not God. This is a souls.
Yeah, but is that what happened with God when He gave us a spark of His neshama or something?
Whatever. We have to talk what that really means.
That's a crazy question.
You're asking,
Wow.
was that what happened with? I mean,
That's no. That's you're asking a very deep Hasidic question. A Kabbalah question is, what does it mean that we have the? What is a
God. What does it tell him?
No.
What is the image of God?
No, image of God is our body. That's something else.
We went on like 8 tangents. Can we go on the original?
Yeah, but it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It's a
One
million.
One second. Wait. Let's go back. You're asking a question. This is your real question. Is a soul a piece of God or a creation of God?
Yes.
Now that's a question that I'm not going to answer today.
What's the difference though?
26.
But how do you have the answers to these questions? How do we
It's a
know
whole
the
different
answers to
thing,
these
bro.
questions?
Moreno Rabbeinu Ater Dorshenu Hari v'Harashash HaKadosh that learned Mipi Eliyahu Navi Zachur Latov.
The Arizal, you know the Arizal Mikvah and
So
Tzvat?
we have the answers to all these
We
questions.
learned this from
Why
Eliyahu
don't
Navi
we have
himself.
Solutions then. Like, why don't we
Years
just
ago.
follow the solutions?
Am I stopping you
Rabbi,
from keeping Torah?
Rabbi,
What?
Rabbi, was the Arizal the first one? That
No, but wait, you don't believe that way. You have to do everything in Emunah Pshuta.
Shem Mordechai. Sorry.
When Shem Baruch Chai brought us down?
Everybody was.
Before Shem Baruch Chai, this wasn't brought down.
Moshe Rabbeinu, Avram Avinu, everyone knew it. Just it was taught to Yichudei Segula. It was taught to
One by one,
It was
single
it was
individualized
taught to individual people. Until who? Until the Ramban. Ramban came. He was the last one that knew the authentic from the mouth of Moshe Rabbeinu. Then everyone wrote books and stuff, but they added their own things. Came the Ari Kadosh, and he had a gilui. He had a gilui of Eliyahu Navi.
Who's Gilui?
Gilui means a revealment of Eliyahu Navi, and Eliyahu Navi taught him everything. And he taught it to his student Rav Chaim Vital, and that's why we know what we know.
So Mashiach comes when we fix the system. Is that kind of like the?
Or is
No.
here to fix the system?
Mashiach's here to do one thing, and it's easier than what you think. He's not here to fix the world. He's here to show you that the world fixing depends on you. And until you don't devote your life to God, you're never gonna see it.
And there's no physicality in this.
My chef said I feel like everybody's dropping their job and just going to
Wrong.
work. But
Wrong.
I don't know.
People are gonna work double as hard, but they're gonna see God in their work. That's what they're gonna see. A wise man once told me, a person that works, that retires, that's his death wish. Because a person that just stops to work is the worst thing he can do for himself. Work is the greatest blessing. That's why God cursed us with work. Why?
Curse, not a blessing.
Why? Why is it considered a curse? Because really, what was our job? To enjoy from what? From godliness, right? To enjoy godliness. And what did we decide to do instead? To enjoy from our own physicality. So God said, now you want to see me, you got to work for it. Through your work, that's how you're going to see me.
But the funny thing is, he made us think that way in the beginning.
Correct. But we didn't see it.
Wow.
Everything that you think that you just get a boom, right? That light bulb just went in your head. You thought about that in a different way. You just didn't analyze it.
Oh, if a person doing cash events, how are you supposed to see God? Please
Okay, let's
explain.
not get into
If a person
different.
selling jewelry, how's a person supposed to see God? I'm selling a $100,000 watch. Where's God in there?
If you would know the
metal was made
1
of
second.
earth.
Okay.
It's
The
not
guy's
smooth.
buying it from you. That's what God is.
Can I answer you?
To make $30,000.
Can I answer
why is he
you?
buying it
Can
from
I answer you? The process is the revealment of God, not the end result. If you go in the dynamics of a jeweler, by the time he got the client, by the time this client got convinced, by the time the client find him, they agreed, and this and that. Throughout the process, the jeweler messed up, he got his thing on time. That's all Yad Hashem. You pick up the phone, right? The client wants money. Boom, what happened? This same guy registered in 3 different cash advance offices. He signed the paperwork. You're about to release the money. Thank God you waited 24 hours. You found it in another place. You called a friend. Boom, bam. You didn't lose money, right? You're not getting, what are you going to say? Oh, look, we caught him. No. You're lucky that God helped you catch the guy. That's what you're not looking at. You're just looking at the end result. Doctors. So you know how many of them can't even explain the whole process when they get into like big severe cases? It's a shock. It's a shock of their life. And so on and so forth. God is in every single second of our life. Here's the big question. Did you clean your glasses or you didn't clean your glasses? That's what you have to ask yourself. You can learn Gemara day and night, night and day, but if you don't see God in that Gemara that you're learning, dupul. Doesn't count. Because your purpose of your existence is to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu in every single thing. And like that, you don't take anything personal. Back to what I said on Shabbos. The worst thing you can do is take it personal. You just have to know in your head, you're part of the process. Oh, I don't want to live that way. Everyone's main thing.
So when we take something personal, that means we don't see God?
Correct. It's God trying to open you up. He's opening up your tzimtzum. He's making you bigger.
So someone making you feel bad, embarrassing you, right?
So what is your human instinct
You want to
tell
fight
you?
back.
You want to make him not think you certain way, right?
Correct. But how do you actually make him not think that way?
Let's say a person's really evil.
Wait,
That's such a thing.
I'm saying.
A person's really
One
evil.
second. Of course, there are many evil people. How do you actually make him think that way? Is it by fighting back or making him feel that his words
I mean,
Validate.
don't even, nothing. It's like you're a piece of herb. He's like, I don't care. Talk from today till tomorrow. You know how much that kills the other person more? How come I said something he didn't answer back? See, they're waiting for the blow up. You know what happens when you don't give him that satisfaction? You're the winner. Nobody's gonna look weak. What weak? That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you a man. You're using this. You're not using this.
If they think I put him in check,
Yeah.
I summed them up, Rabbi.
I summed them up.
Messed
I
it
You
up.
know
slaughtered
how-
him.
you know how much
I
you got-
shecht it.
Listen, look.
You know when? When you start to disobey, when you start to act different towards the person. I have people that antagonize me all the time. They love it, they enjoy it. But anytime I see them, I give them a hand, I give them a hug. Hi, how are you? How's everything? Please enjoy, have a good day, You know how much it pisses them off? It kills them. I know it kills them because I have people telling me. It kills them. I said, why? I said, they're not affecting me. It happens to be I'm living rent-free in their head. It's my problem. It's my problem? It's not my problem. You know when they start to think that they won? When they do something, you keep your mouth shut, and then suddenly you like distance, you want to look at him like you want to kill him all the time. No, it doesn't bother you. Nothing. Lo maziz, it doesn't even move you. Come, John, let's drink, let's eat. Let's go. But you're not doing it to be a faker, chashadah. What's the key here? In the morning, what's the first thing that we do after we put on our tefillin? After saying L'Shem Yichud, what's the first paragraph? Hareini mekabel alai mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Behold, I am accepting upon myself a mitzvah, a positive commandment, which is what? To love every single Jew. Kinafshi ukumo'odi, like my body and like my essence. That's how you have to love somebody. I say this story all the time. We got off tangent, but I say this story all the time. One time there was one of my rebbeim that really, he really hurt me. And I called my rebbe and I said, what do I do? You know what he told me? He said, until today you couldn't really fulfill the mitzvah of Ahavta Kamocha. Now you can fulfill it. Why? Because you know someone that's antagonizing you. Now you're gonna find it in your heart to love him, and you're gonna fulfill the mitzvah.
What do?
I worked on myself. And I sat down. And I was even crying. Like, what did I do to hurt this person's feeling? I did nothing, absolutely nothing. And I said, no matter what, Hashem, I don't know what the message is. I love him. I love you. I love everybody. That's it.
So what, fake it till you make it?
You're not really faking it. You're finding the kaf zechut.
You're faking
You're
it.
working on yourself, not faking.
You're controlling the emotion. You're putting the emotion aside and you're putting the logic inside. That's what you're
So
doing.
what, humans aren't supposed to have emotions now?
So you asked such an amazing question.
No, you say something about desires. If I have desires,
No,
for
he
like
asked
woman,
he asked a
I
very
should control myself to have
he
what I
asked a
want.
very deep question. He asked a very deep question. I have to concede and say that the greatest men are men without emotions.
Not men without emotions,
But a
but
man
that
without
control
emotions can't treat his wife
No.
correctly.
Not having emotions, rather.
No. I'm gonna explain to you what I mean. Being a robot, so there's a big fine line. And I'm gonna say it with a story. I'm gonna answer your question with a story. The Balatanya, the author of this book, had many students. And one day his oldest students and his younger students sat down together. The youngest students, the more younger you are, the more when you learn, you have, it's called in Hebrew, atzaga. You know what atzaga is? Like an excitement, you show like hyperness, you're like, you know what we just learned? I'm flying, Geshli Orot! I'm flying! They're doing like this deonegi, they put on tefillin, they're dancing, they're like all hyped. And you see the older students, they're more what? Submissive, more robots, more serious. They come in, they're more self-worked. They have their emotions in check. So the youngest student goes to the oldest student and says, imagine what it would be if you would have my emotions and I would have had your brains. What was you trying to tell him? Even though I'm in the lowest stage because I'm still emotionally excited and you're in the highest stage because you're intellectually excited, if we would put that together, we would be an unstoppable human being. The hardest test for a tzaddik, because he reached the level of robot, is to ignite the excitement as well. That's why I told you your question is an extremely deep question. You don't even chap how deep it is. Your whole goal in your life is to serve God like a slave, but act with Him like a son. You hear what I just told you? You have to meditate on these words that I just said. Right now we act to God like He's our like a son. Why? I'll sin. He's my father. He got my back. You have to train yourself to be a slave. What does a slave mean? I'm pure subservient to God. Whatever God says, I do. I don't go out of boundary. But in the same time, once I reach that level, I have to bring the son back to the picture. And what's that? Even though I'm serving God with a sense of robotic mindset, I still love Him so much, I want to enjoy it. And that's the hardest level. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I'm gonna think about it.
Think about it. Does anyone have any other questions before we continue? No? You good? Did I answer some one of the questions? Let's go.
Is it wrong to say? Is it wrong for a person to say I'm only human? God cannot expect me to be perfect.
Wrong. God does not expect you to be perfect.
So therefore, it's okay for me to stumble. I'm only human.
It's not okay for you to stumble.
Why? I'm only human. Humans are meant to stumble.
That's an excuse.
What you're saying, when you actually say it, you're actually giving yourself the permission to continue stumbling. That's the problem.
Like, can God really expect someone to be shown again when they're dating?
Yes,
But like, it sounds almost impossible.
and it's possible. You know what God can expect you also to do? Not date for so long. That's already your choice.
Got you, brother.
Okay, let's go. ועכשיו, again, we have literally 10 minutes, but hopefully to get into the juice of what is really the whole point of the sacrifice. We're not going to get to it, but whatever. ועכשיו, I think, you know what? We're going to save this part for the next, for Wednesday, because we're going to go into a different tangent. We're all going to get confused right now. We have time. I'm not going to stop. Does anyone have any questions about these things? I know you like these topics. Go ahead. Today is the day to ask.
Rabbi, I'm gonna go back.
Go back, baby.
A person doesn't respond. I'm not saying to react, but respond to somebody, right? Like, you know, our Bukharians, whether they be older, younger, your peers, they have this stigma in their head, like, "Hey, I will trust my master pastor." I feel like it's very important for people not to become like a kavir of some sort, whether that be with anybody. No, you have to not react back, but answer back, in order for there to be some sense of boundary.
You know what they call it the Bukhari?
You understand? I don't feel like.
So what is yeah?
That's what it is.
That's what I'm telling. That's what I'm saying.
To become.
Yeah. Well, those are the most dangerous people.
Yeah.
You're saying you have to make a certain statement.
Depend.
Wait. That's what you're saying? Who said the statement has to be something loud?
Doesn't need to be something like that.
You know what's the most dangerous human being in the world? A human being that forgives everybody. He forgave his parents for the pain that he went through. He forgives his loved ones for the pain that they went through. He forgives his co-workers, his boss. You know why that's the scariest human being? Because none of them have an effect on who he really is.
So it makes him scary.
Not scary in a way of pachad, scary as in a way of unstoppable.
What makes him
Because whatever comes his way, he'll know how to look past it.
How do you set boundaries so people don't cross boundaries?
So my Rebbe told me, forgiving people doesn't mean now being their best friend. That's the difference. If I forgive someone, that doesn't mean now he has to be my BFF.
Still keep your distance.
Yeah, that's called being cautious. Get burned once, accident. Getting burned twice, fool. That's the way it works.
So let's just say a husband's parents constantly get involved in his life, or vice versa. A wife's parents
Whatever.
gets involved in his life, right? How do you forgive? How do you make sure that doesn't happen again?
The only way that is ever gonna work is if a husband and wife are on the same page.
But isn't there an instinct?
No. There's
Same
no
page
instinct.
in what do you mean by the same page?
Same
Get
page,
involved.
no. Same page that regardless of anyone's remarks or opinion, it doesn't affect the dynamics of our decisions that we make. Once the decisions are coming through influence of outside, that has been broken.
How do you repair it?
But what if
It's not a repair that needs to be done, because you can't repair something that was never built.
Trust issue.
1 second. You can't repair something that wasn't built. If that trust was built, It can never be broken. Oh, that's a good question. By putting her priorities first, she will have to learn to put your priorities first, and that's the way you start building it.
She's just stepping over you.
She's only stepping over you because you're not doing your job as a man.
No, it's not.
Making sure that she's first priority. A woman only barks when she's not getting fed.
Wow. That's fire.
Now, that doesn't mean only food, that means in all aspects.
In all aspects.
Emotionally, physically.
100%. That's why need is the greatest gift of from God. He teaches you balance of physicality and emotionally. 1 second.
Wow.
But if she's your roommate for the other 2 weeks, then you're destroying. You're not building.
So how do you build from that?
If you would understand how more enjoyable you would live a life when she's not on that, if you give her the attention when she is on that, you would not stop giving her attention when she is on that, because when you're not going to be on that, she's never going to leave you alone.
You said the build-up starts from when Nita starts,
Correct.
not when from Nicholas starts.
Correct.
Wow.
Did you hear what I just told you?
Yeah, but when she's pregnant,
nice.
that kind of all goes away.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Because you're with her for 9 months.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Depends on the dynamics, depends on the hormones, depends on the human being. It's all different.
You're sleeping in a different room when she's leaving.
No.
Who's sleeping in a different room?
No,
Asu.
same
Brother,
room.
what'd you have?
Asu, you sleep. You always sleep.
Oh, that's a violation.
Shh, you always sleep in the same room on a different bed. And if you don't have a different bed, you sleep on the floor. You never, ever in your life sleep in another room. Ever. Any Khatan teacher that teaches that to their Khatanim deserve a bullet in their forehead.
Whoa.
There is no such thing as sleeping in a different room.
So,
Because you're teaching bad habits, which is what? Escape whenever I'm not needed. You are married. Marriage means till death do us part.
let's just say if your wife goes to her parents' house every single day,
Yo!
she's sick. You're supposed to go with her every
Wait,
single
is it
time?
Panyaku you're talking about?
The reason why she's going there is because she doesn't feel the sense of need, accomplish, whatever it is that needs to be done through her husband, so she decides to get it through her
Whoa!
mother or this is the truth. I'm sorry. The
She's
truth
trying to
is-
say the only reason why she has to run to her parents is because her husband doesn't actually give her that
Correct.
safety and security.
Correct.
The question, going back to what you said,
I don't agree on that.
if somebody like her mother or father, right, let's say, comes and makes a
Oh wait, I want to tell you something. In young marriages, these things cannot be established in young marriages. These things take time. That's why the beginning years of your marriage is always these hurdles and balagans. It's only, when it's really becomes solid, when in the time of real depth of need, you're there.
So my wife gives birth. Is it better that she goes to her mom's house for a week, or is it better that she stays home and I fully take care of her?
It's better if she goes to her mom and you're there with her.
Why?
Because she's going to realize that she doesn't need to be by her mom's house and say, I want to go home with you.
What if her mom comes to you?
No, but you don't sleep in your in-laws' house. You sleep at
Do
home.
you hear what I just told you?
No, I didn't.
I'm going to repeat it.
Let her come to your house, bro.
You can never tell a woman that her decision is wrong. She has to see it on her own. I didn't finish. She thinks her mother is going to help her. As we all know, 99.9% mother-in-laws don't help, especially in this generation. They say come, they hold the baby once, twice. They give them a bottle once, twice,
Have a special case.
and that's it. And that's it. She has to feel one of two things. Either number one, I'm getting enough help from my husband when he's with me in my mother's house that I don't even need my mother, so what am I doing here? I'd rather go home in my own comfortable space and be home with my husband. That's number one. Or number two, she's getting so much help from her mother, it doesn't hurt to make sure that she gets the emotional support by you. And even if she says, go home, I want you to sleep at home, you say, no, I'm staying here with you.
How long?
I heard it from many women that until today, they feel pain that their husbands didn't stay with them
Didn't stay where? In the in-laws? In her...
after they gave birth. It's
But what,
very
what if they don't
funny.
have any room in their house?
You sleep on the floor.
What if the in-law comes to your house? Like if the mother-in-law comes to my house.
Even better. What's the problem?
My question is, if my mother-in-law is in my house and she's helping with the child, and I see that there's help, I'm not gonna like.
You're not needed.
Yeah, that's on you. I'm gonna go do my own thing.
No, she needs you more for the emotional than for the physical. Then that's what you're not understanding.
But what about-
Postpartum, every girl goes through it. Some go through it for an hour. Some go through it for a year. Rahman al-Islam. In order that she shouldn't go through that mental breakage, she needs a mental support. Her mother and her father should not be her mental support. If her father and mother are going to become her mental support, you just handicapped yourself for the rest of your life. Because now she knows she can rely on them for mental support.
What if her dad is rabbi?
Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference if her father's the Gadol Hador. She's living with a husband. She needs to know that the husband's there. The husband got them emotionally, got them physically.
Can you give me an example? What does it mean being emotionally there for your wife? What does that mean?
Listening.
Alright, listen.
Not just listening.
How you feeling?
Converse. What's going on? How was your day?
There's whining and complaining.
Let them whine. Wow, oh my God, how can I help you? How can I make sure this never happens again?
Every time they
What
whine
can
at
we
home,
do? It's good, guys. Whining is part of the process. This is life. This is them. And then they say, "Wow, thank you. I really need to talk to somebody." And you're over there for 20 minutes. And what a waste of my time. Until you get mature enough and realize that it's not a waste of your time. That was actually the bond that you needed to take you to the next level.
What do you hold?
But what's the problem? Why don't we want to do that? Because my father's gonna look at me like, what? Tiloch, Lashada, whatever. What are you babysitting your wife? Back in Uzbekistan, they used to give birth every single year. They were all dead, buddy. They went to work the next day. I'm just telling you what they say. You shouldn't.
They say nowadays say Belaruski.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel offended by that.
Why are they so involved in our lives? What we do with our wives? What we do this? What we do that?
Control.
Especially the in-laws, you know?
I just answered you. It's all about control.
Because also you let that happen.
No.
So how do you set a boundary?
Yeah, how do you go to your in-laws and just like say like like I'm here and you're there, like
What?
You can't.
Why?
You know what
Does
you
that mean
have
I'm
to.
here, you're there?
Your wife needs to set that
Know your
boundary.
place.
I'm gonna tell your mom, know your place, you're gonna say to her?
we're too different, my friend.
Your
Don't
wife.
say this on camera.
I answered.
What are you gonna say? Know your
He
place?
answered. He answered. That has to happen. That
Your wife needs to set that
happens.
boundary.
That happens retroactively.
How you know this?
You know how? Not that she has to say that. They have to have such a relationship between each other that the parents and everyone knows that regardless of what we tell them, it's not going to make a difference. Because their circle is so strong, they're going to make the decisions themselves. That's how. That's why I always say the more you invest in your marriage, the happier you will be. But the beginning initial investment is very, very hard. We just don't want to do the legwork. But once you accomplish it, wow, ma tov, ma naim. The best life. The best. Olam haba. Adam Rishon didn't even have this with his wife. The best life. Why? Because you were the one that created that sense of safe space and boundaries between you and your wife that no one else can interfere. And remember, this is coming from a guy that lives right next door to his parents. We'll talk about that at a different time.
So I have a question.
You think boundaries weren't set? You know how difficult it was? My parents, thank God, they're more open-minded and
How you do is that
understand.
they don't look bad on your wife. They don't
But you
like-
chose those than your parents? Or?
That's a story on its own. I'm very happy I'm there. If I chose it or not has nothing to do with anything.
What if your wife, or same thing vice versa, but what if, let's say, your wife has a disagreement with her own mother, right? And now,
You asked this question before. Someone asked me this question before. And now you're in between.
you're in between, and now their reaction makes you mad, and now your reaction makes them mad. So that's a
Why are you
whole
getting involved?
boy man.
Why are you getting involved?
I've been there many times.
Because- Why getting
You know why I get involved? Because it's in your house.
Exactly.
I've been there many
your
times.
house.
Yeah, but you don't get involved in that.
So
They're talking,
if you
let
walk
them
into
talk.
your house, let me ask you a question. You walk into your house, right? I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming you don't want to show your children that are at the home that you argue with each other. You don't want to have that energy in the house, right? You come home from work and you see your mom and her mom and your wife arguing in front of your child.
the kids.
And the kids are sitting there looking like
Giving
this.
them anxiety.
It's a bit, you know,
Basic.
like why are you yelling in front of my kids?
Yeah.
And then you get involved. You take your wife aside. You say, hey, listen, you know our talk
Yeah.
about not arguing with her kids. What are you doing with your mom?
So here you just made.
Then you start another fire.
you made the most crucial mistake. It was right there.
Amen.
You didn't make the argument about her. You made it about who? The kids. At that moment, she doesn't care about the kid. At that moment, you had to cater for whose needs? For whose needs?
Her needs.
Her needs.
What is that?
What is that? Don't worry about it. Let your mother yell. We're gonna decide. It's okay. I know you had a hard day. Just let it pass. That's it.
Can you physically kick your mother-in-law out of the house?
Absolutely not.
Yo,
Oh,
you crazy.
yo, you're crazy, bro.
You really don't, no, you can't do that. There's certain social skills you
Or
can.
if you make them feel uncomfortable for them to leave.
No, absolutely
You
not.
open the door, but like the door is here.
Why? Wait.
Has
For
Khalila,
this-
has Khalila.
I'll tell you why.
This is the difference between the older generation and the new
Wait, I wanna hear
generation.
I'll explain why though.
Oh, you want to take lessons?
I want to hear it.
I'll explain why though. Because they,
No, I
they
like
walk
it.
in your house and
Probably
they make,
triggering really.
they walk in your they walk in your house and they think they're the owners.
Bye-bye.
Let them say whatever they want to say.
Sure. What needs
Doesn't mean, my
changing?
nigga.
Why does it have to trigger you for everything they say?
Put the
Now
money on
welcome
the
to my
table.
house.
Oh, it's too cold in the house. Okay, big deal.
You know what the problem is with you guys? You guys you want to be dominant without actually having a big team. Because if you would have real big team, you would know how to control your wife. But the problem is you don't know how to control your wife, so you want to control the situation.
No, when you go and tell
Stop, relax.
Listen.
Relax.
Listen.
Oh, when you tell
Sit,
your wife,
relax.
you want
Why?
to back.
Why? Because she's the one with the big team. I'm gonna talk your language right now. You want me to talk your language? You talk your language. A real man, which these men would no, let it record. Because this is not gonna work anymore in this generation. This worked in the old generation. What worked? Nafasiyah. Tum, shoot, finished. Old generation mother-in-laws knew not to scream at their son-in-laws. The real old generation, they knew. Why? Because today she screams at the son-in-law, tomorrow the son-in-law is beating the crap out of her daughter.
Who's screaming at their son-in-law?
You understand? Back in the day, they had their positives and they had their negatives. Nowadays, everyone wants to be dominant. The woman wants to be dominant, the man wants to show that he's dominant, and everyone's fighting. The mother-in-law comes in, the father-in-law comes in, you have like a zoo park, you just have to write over here, fair, you have to pay a fee to enter the zoo, $25. We have all family zoo members, right? Right? This is why. Right? I know. So what do you do? What do you do? No, Snow. What do you do? What do you do? You have to learn to be socially intelligent.
When you stay quiet,
Unfortunately, you guys are not socially intelligent. You guys are hormonic. You guys are like women. Social intelligent. So I trust me. I know it's part of my blood too. Social intelligent people know how to handle the situation without actually being in the situation.
100%.
How do you do that? By not getting involved when it's hot.
Blood pressure's going
dude, when
high.
you stay quiet, it still eats them like you don't chichanos to them. My father, like,
No, for Yaakov.
Yaakov, in-laws comes to the house, and his father-in-law starts making remarks. Why is it like relax?
But who cares?
Yeah, but if it still triggers you,
cares? It's your
Bro,
house.
I get remarks all the time by my in-laws when they come to my house. You think I care what they
No,
say?
that's a different story, bro.
No,
That's a different story, Nathan. You can't
Why is
compare.
it like this? Why is it like that? It's not clean.
No, that's
Don't
of course. Why like that?
Do that, though.
Okay.
These are
It goes back to his thing of
Who cares?
emotionally, don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you stay quiet about it. You are looking at you. Why not talking? Like why not social with my?
That's what they
with
want
my
you to do.
parents?
They want you to. And
You're right. It happens to be that you were deaf for 90% of what I was saying. So I'm going to repeat it very fast. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? Okay. Number one, not caring about what they say doesn't mean this. That's why I said. This is why I said before. You can't disassociate from them. You have to not care for their comment and still associate with them. You, on the other hand, you play emotion game. What's that? They came in, they said, why is this not like this? Why is that like that? You just put right now what? You put a wall. That wall right now affected what? You're going to talk to your father-in-law or to your mother-in-law. You have to learn about not to care, to ignore, and to continue living. That comes with maturity.
We naturally get turned off, Rabbi.
Because
like, what the heck is wrong with people?
because you guys are not mentally mature. You guys are mentally immature. What's the proof to that? That if someone really has real problems in his life, if his father-in-law or mother-in-law comes and says, why is this like this or like that? You know what he's going to say? I don't have time for this nonsense. Someone that has real problems in their life, when someone gives a comment, they're like, such a dzitki side, I don't have time for this. Simple.
You can't say that. So what are you supposed to say?
Think that you guys.
I'm not saying to say that. So you're not getting it.
What's the problem with saying something like that? Honestly, if I
Meaning
say
your mind is so occupied that you don't have the time to even think
What
of
do
what
you
he said.
I'm busy
You
working
shouldn't
4
even
hours
get
a day, why
affected.
It's not even that serious. Exactly, get affected.
You don't take
You
it.
won't
You don't
think
take it
about
personally.
it,
You don't
bro.
take it personally.
So, I'll give you an example. Your father comes and says, почему такой грязно дома, что такое, что появился, я не знаю, ба-ба-ба, she starts barking, the whole 9 yards,
It's okay.
right?
Clean up. That's it.
No, why? But why?
But you know also,
You're not being a man by saying that.
why do they care if your house is clean?
They don't. It's dominancy. They just want to give a word. Because if they would really care, you know what they would say? Oh, it's hard for you. Can I get a cleaning lady for you tomorrow?
That's mad sarcastic though.
No. No.
Oh my god, I know that happened to somebody and they took it very offensive. I think you shouldn't say
Why?
it.
Can I help you? Do you need? No, you don't say. Oh, shush, you need a cleaning lady. Do you need help?
Somebody said
What's
that
going
the
on,
daughter
Jonah?
wants to fight.
Sit down. What do you need help with?
Why they get-
Or if he's a smart father-in-law, he would take his daughter to the side and say, "How are you treating a man? A man is gonna run away.
And that's
Men cannot be like that." Or if it's a smart mother-in-law, she would go to her son and say, "But Shimi, this is not the way you treat a wife." But you can't expect that from your family. You have to expect that from yourself when you'll have kids.
Isn't that our responsibility to be vashpitat once we get married to them?
what does that mean?
Vashpitat is like not to discipline them, but
Who?
to kind of bring
Who?
Shunu, like
Yes,
yeah, you need
sure.
to make
Yeah.
sure the house is clean.
Yeah.
You do your obligation
Yes.
as a man, you should do
Yes.
it as a woman.
But you know when she's gonna do it? When you do your obligation. And when are you gonna do your obligation? When you put her needs first. And when you're gonna do that?
He said the first sure, he said.
When you're gonna be mature. And when is that gonna happen? I don't know.
Monday and Wednesday. We'll find out.
It's all about you. At the end of the day, it's all about you, guys. Don't be scared. Get married. It's all about you. Okay, Rabbi said we're done for tonight.